Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today I'm going to be planting the seeds I started sprouting, my pomegranate seeds, because some of them are just really taking off, and so I want to give them the chance to like really take off. If you saw my short, I think it was this last one? Yeah, I think it was my last short. Then you know what I'm talking about, and if not, then I will be showing you anyways. So I took some pomegranate seeds and I put them in this container, and I wet the napkin, put them in the container, and as you can see, some of them are just like waiting to just get out of this container. Like this one was like being bent down from the lid, and we've got a bunch of roots sticking out everywhere. So I only have this little container for now. I had more of these containers, but I know one of them is being used for dragon fruit cuttings, and the other ones are probably in the shed somewhere. I don't have the time to go looking in there, to go looking through all my gardening stuff. So I'm just gonna, this has 6, so I'm gonna take the 6 best ones and transplant them into here, and that'll give the other seedlings time to just take off as much as, you know, the best 6 ones did. And then by the time these are ready to transplant, I will have found my other container. I am obviously outside. You could probably hear the birds and the planes. Oh, look at that. Got a big old... And some of these have more root than greenery, which is, you know, totally fine. So I'm actually going to take most of this soil out. And this is just a chunky, like, well draining mix that I use for literally everything. So as you can see, I just cut the napkin because those little roots are just like all tangled up in the napkin. It'll be fine. It's not gonna hurt anything. Eventually the napkin will just decompose. So on pieces like this, where the napkin kind of goes up and over, I'm just kind of folding it down as best as I can without damaging the roots. And then we'll make sure this little root kind of gets pushed down when planting them. So here we are. They're all kind of flimsy and kind of leaning and stuff, but you have to remember they were in a container, so they were growing a certain way. Gotta give them just a few days to kind of readjust and kind of just go from there. My son sees me doing this all the time, so he just grabs seeds and puts them in napkins. These are chicos zapote seeds, actually. You want to make sure to really water them in well and kind of keep the soil a little bit wet, not like draining or dripping wet, but definitely wet, because you have to remember you just took them from a wet napkin into soil, so you don't want to just leave them in this dry soil because they will die. Here are the other bits. I saved as much of the roots as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab these, a new napkin, and put them in the container. Sorry, my kids are now jumping on the trampoline, but I'm gonna be keeping these in a south window at least till dangers of frost is past, which for me it is on or around February 15th. It's supposed to be like our last frost date. So we'll see by, you know, 2 weeks from now how big these are, how established they are. I may put them out and then bring them back in the summer, or maybe just experiment and bring half of them in and leave half of them out. Like, I don't know, we'll see what happens when we get there. But I want to give you guys a quick garden tour because everything is starting to wake up and everything's looking really good. But yeah, so first we have our pineapple. I was gonna say pumpkin for some reason. Our pineapples, they're actually kind of dry. I should probably water them, but these are looking a whole lot better than this one, and I think it's just the fact that they were outside and these are under the covered, like they still have a little porch over them, so I think that helped with the frost. We got a lot of new growth in there in all of them, so that's cool. My peach tree is still dormant. I'm hoping these are little buds, little flowers, because we got flowers last year. We had flowers last year, and I don't know if I shared it with you guys, but my daughter picked off like the tiny peaches that were on there. They were like little tiny peaches, and she picked them all off. But I'm hoping these are all little buds. I guess we'll see. It's supposed to start warming up here soon. My boss said probably like 2-3 weeks, so mid-February should start either seeing flowers, if it's gonna flower, or the greens, because it should be waking up soon. Our peppers, if you remember, I trimmed them back a lot. All that greens that I cut off, I put them in here, and it's pretty much decomposed, or a lot of it is decomposed anyway. And I always add eggshells in here. There's a banana peel, all kinds of random stuff. But still getting chilies, still getting flowers, and it's just gonna go from there with it warming up. Pineapple, despite it being yellow, I did add a little bit of that straw mulch. My husband had this wood chips thing, I don't know what you would call it, but I might have added them like really late in the season, so it didn't help a whole lot. Despite it not really being covered, you know, it's pushing new growth way down in there. And I mean, it's not terrible. The ends got a lot of yellow, which I'm associating with frost damage. So mulberry is definitely waking up. I can't wait to see this when it's completely awake, because it has massive leaves. Oh, it threw some massive leaves out last year, so I'm hoping we get the same. And check this out. We got a little mulberry flower, 2 little flowers in there. Check that out. Those are little flowers. Here are the strawberries. They haven't really taken off, but this is like new growth. This is new growth. I believe that's new too, but I'm not sure. The soil isn't all the way to the top because we have this this on it. So it looks like they may be buried too deep, but they're actually not. They're actually pretty okay. But I did come in and pull this one up a little bit because my son did help me plant these. So, but that one, I thought it was dead, but it's got a little bit of green there. And then this one does too. So we have 7 with green on them. And then we have 7, 8, 9. These 3 that look dead, but this one has a little green on it, and this one has green on it. So this one's the only one that I'm kind of like, I think you're dead. But I'm just gonna leave it. I did pull back. I did lift it up a little bit. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I did show you guys me planting this in a short as well. It is an almond tree cutting. I've never done it before, but it's been 2 weeks, I think, or maybe 3. And it's still alive. I think it's actually getting ready to wake up, possibly. So I guess we'll see what happens. Potatoes, they were looking a little wilted when I came out here earlier, so I did water them and they perked right back up. Newest to the collection, I did add a little blueberry Biloxi. I did read the label. It says they produce better when there's 2, so I told my husband I have to go back and get another one. Carrots, I just love looking at these. They're so pretty. So I'm like, even if we don't get anything out of here, at least we had pretty greens for a long time. And if you remember, I didn't thin these out. Charlie was jumping up here, so I put this little owl. It seems to have helped keep him out. Citrus, clementine, possibly. I don't know. We won't know until it actually fruits. Hopefully this year. I don't know when I can expect it to fruit, so I should probably ask my boss. I did prune the fig. I think I showed you guys that too. I don't see it starting to wake up anywhere. Dragon fruit, I checked one and it was black and dead, so I tossed it. But garlic, check this out, I'm so excited. That's actually pretty thick. It's probably like as thick as my finger. So that's cool. And then we got some other more flimsy ones, like this guy right here. But this one's pretty thick too, and this one, and this one. So I'm super excited about that. And the moment we've all been waiting for, the nasturtium is finally flowering, and apparently they are orange. So that's exciting. I love these greens too. I'm like, even if they didn't flower, I'm like, these remind me of like lily pads. Then one of our grow bags has little volunteers. I feel like it's a sunflower seed, but I'm just gonna leave them and see what happens. So yeah, that's it for now.